Are you still playing with that outdated PS2? Are all those cases taking up too much room? Are those wired outdated controllers too old for you? Aw, son of... That outdated PS2 still takes discs and cartridges. Throw away that piece of junk and get an Ouya. The Ouya is small, fits in tight spaces, and requires a lot less wires than the massive amount of wires on the PS2. As you can see, the Ouya conveniently fits in this small bowl. Can your PS2 do that? No. The PS2's games require a bunch of room with a bunch of DVDs. The Ouya doesn't do that because all of its games are downloadable, the way of the future. The Ouya supports 4 players, which means 4 times the awesome. The PS2 can only support 2 players, which only means 2 times the awesome, meaning that it's half as awesome as the Ouya. Stop rage quitting all of your games on the PS2 and have peaceful fun on the Ouya. Buy an Ouya now. Alright, let me get this straight. Do not throw away your PS2. The commercial was meant to be something funny or to laugh at. It was completely fake. Now on with the review. Hey, the Master Reviewer here, and welcome to the first ever review on video arcade films. This time we will be reviewing the Ouya console. But before I get onto the review, I'd like to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel, because I had
a lot of subscribers to video arcade films. This is the subscriber special.
Be quiet, Microsoft Hazel.
Anyway, the Ouya console is black and gray, with the sides being gray and the top and bottom being black. I think this combination of colors on the small console makes it look great. Now let's open up the Ouya and check out all the processors and see the specs of the console.
Do not try this at home. You may damage your Ouya.
The Ouya's processor is a NVIDIA quad-core 1.7 GHz processor. The graphics processing unit is also a NVIDIA chip running at 520 MHz. Its memory is 1 GB and it is shared between the processor and the graphics processing unit. It outputs to HDMI and its internal storage is 8 or 16 GB. My model is 8 GB.
Stop, you are ruining the motherboard.
No, he's not. He knows what he is doing.
The Ouya is extremely small, so what we're going to do next is weigh all the parts.
Warning, possible inaccurate scale.
The motherboard with the processor and the fan weigh 35 grams. The weights weigh 10 grams. The case of the Ouya weighs 110 grams. All of the parts equal up to about 1/3 of a pound. There is a problem with its small weight though. When you plug in the power supply, the HDMI, the USB port, the micro USB port, and the Ethernet port, it just can't hold it up because of its small weight. That is a problem with the Ouya. But then again, you probably won't have all of the cables plugged in anyway when you play with the Ouya, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, now let's get this Ouya fired up.
Unsafe electrical outlet.
Let's plug in the HDMI cable. It just goes in right. You're probably wondering why the Ouya fell because of the wires and why it rolled through a Minecraft world. The reasons are simple actually. Number 1, I'm a big fan of Minecraft. Number 2, the Ouya's included HDMI cable is only 3 feet long. You can't have it any distance away from your TV with the HDMI cable that short. That's why the Ouya fell. When I went to plug in the HDMI cable, it dragged the Ouya and made it fall, as seen in these replays. Stop it with the replays already, alright? Sorry. Me putting the Ouya in a Minecraft world also brings up another question. Does a Minecraft Android app work on Ouya? No one really knows, and the Mojang people who made Minecraft were planning to make a Ouya app for it, but basically never did. Basically, this whole review, we've been looking at the console's hardware and also how it looks and stuff like that. Now let's actually take a look at the software side of the Ouya. Actually, this Ouya was given to me by Legend X Taz, and he's going to come on to the video to tell us what he thought about the Ouya when he had it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Taz here, popping over here on Video Arcade Films. Just want to let you guys know about what I think about the Ouya, the goods and bads with it. The goods, start off with the goods. It's cheap, it's good, it's easy to afford, it's about a fifth of the cost of like what an Xbox One is, and that you're still getting your hands on console gaming. It's bridging that gap between what people love about, you know, Android and iPhone apps with the games on there. It's bridging that over into console gaming. That's really one of its pluses, and it's really good towards developers developing new games to it. Those are its big main pluses. Its drawbacks is still the selection of games, you know, as it is that bridge, and that's what's good about it, yet the selection of games people are looking for still isn't quite up there. So if you're looking for big AAA titles, you're not going to find them on the Ouya just quite yet, but other than that, it's still a very cheap, a very affordable gaming service, especially when you're looking for console gaming. The controller's really a really good feel. It's very comparable to the Xbox 360 controller, so that's my opinions on it. It does come with Wi-Fi, which is a major plus as well, but I hope that helps you guys out, make your decision on what you guys want to get with the Ouya. So I hope that helps. Thank you to Video Arcades. My name's Taz. See ya.
And thanks to Taz for that little overview of the Ouya. And here's his channel. His channel name is Taz, and he does a lot of Minecraft stuff, having 32,000 subscribers and counting. Thanks a lot, Taz. Alright, now back to the Ouya. The operating system on the Ouya is based off an Android system. What it is basically a tablet at home on your TV. The problem is that it doesn't work as well as it should. The Android system on the Ouya sometimes glitches, bugs, and sometimes the sounds don't match up right. One more thing with the Ouya itself. One problem with the Wi-Fi antenna in the Ouya console. it doesn't connect very well to Wi-Fi that you might have in the house, and also the Wi-Fi antenna is really cheap. Now let's talk about the controller. When you first look at the Ouya controller, it looks like an Xbox 360 controller in almost every way. And then you look around the controller, there's no start or select button like on the PS3 controller or PS2. After that, you pick up the Ouya controller. It doesn't feel like an Xbox 360 controller in any way. The triggers are really cheap and plasticky, and they pretty much suck. That's probably the worst thing about the Ouya controller. The good things is that I like the analog sticks. When you push them down, they kind of replace the start and select buttons like you would find on a PS3 controller. Now the D-pad is okay, but when I play on it for a long time, it hurts my finger. And the face buttons, the O, U, Y, and A, feel kind of cheap and plasticky, but they kind of work. They are not pressure sensitive like the PS2 or PS3 are, so that's kind of a disadvantage. And the O with the U inside of it button that's in the center of the right analog stick and the D-pad is kind of like your PS button in the PS3. Also, what's new with this Ouya controller is that it has a little mouse touchpad on the front of it, right next to the D-pad and the right analog stick. This functions as a mouse like if you're doing stuff in the browser, but the problem is it doesn't really have any buttons to press when you kind of select things on the internet browser, so it doesn't work too well in that aspect anyway. Another bad thing about the mouse pad on the Ouya controller is that when you're playing a game, your finger will slip off one of the buttons occasionally, and the mouse will appear up on the screen, and it's very annoying to me. And that's it for the Ouya controller. It's not too great, but it works. So that pretty much wraps up our Ouya review for today. Now the big question is the Ouya worth $99? The thing is, if you already have like a PS3 or an Xbox 360 or anything similar to that, then the Ouya probably isn't for you, because there aren't really many games that would probably interest you on the Ouya. Now, if you don't have any game consoles and you want to get into the gaming market, I say the Ouya is a great starter console for you. Now, another thing, if you don't want to be a big part of, big gaming, like big corporations, like stuff like that, then the Ouya is for you, because most of the games are by independent developers that you can support by buying these apps. Now, I hope that it helps you on your purchase of the Ouya if you choose to buy it or not. And that is the review of my Ouya. Another thanks to Taz for popping in on my video. And that's it. See ya. That's it.
That's all I need, man. And take out the garbage!
All right, so that sounded pretty good. I went over everything, pretty sure anyway. My good, bads, said your channel, said my name. Should be good to go.